Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks heaps for joining us as we count down the forecast right up to Christmas Day and in fact even Boxing Day now. And we've got quite a bit of weather coming towards New Zealand, which is going to be good and bad news depending on what you're doing on Boxing Day. So this is how it looks at the moment. Look at that big low out to the east of the country, big system there churning out near the Chatham Islands, a big southerly flow coming through and dropping temperatures in many places, and fairly windy for northern places like Auckland, with a few big downpours that came through in the morning and then went up to Northland as well. So there's been some good news with those downpours, but they didn't last very long, and now it's mostly sunny weather coming in behind it. So that was Wednesday, this is Thursday, and you can see there's another cold front trying to come in across the country. It'll reach Southland, Fiordland. You might get a few showers even into Otago and potentially South Canterbury, but it's not going to be a lot. Most of the wet weather is on the west coast, and it's not even then a very big system. So it's just going to bring a little bit of rain for you. And the winds, they'll be from the westerly quarter. So we'll have sou'westers in the north, maybe even a little bit nor'west through Cook Strait, and then south to southwest winds behind that cold front. Then on Friday, that front disintegrates into the North Island. There will be a couple of showers though, as you can see there, and they might actually get a bit bigger into the afternoon with the daytime heating. So a chance of some bigger downpours through the inland part of the North Island, maybe a couple of showers in the north of the south. Otherwise, high pressure pretty much is across the South Island to end the week. Then we get into the weekend. Saturday, high pressure remains around the South Island, maybe a little bit of rain in Fiordland, a late heavy shower around the ranges of eastern Otago, and again a couple of downpours popping up in the North Island on Saturday, and they get bigger on Sunday. As you can see here, we've got some bigger downpours, maybe even some isolated thunder on Christmas Eve. But most places are actually dry. Most of the main centres certainly are, and you're going to notice the temperatures building. This is a nor'wester, and it is coming in for Christmas Day, and this is Christmas Day right here. So look at that, windy nor'westers coming through. That's going to boost the temperatures up. So if you're in Canterbury and Hawke's Bay, your highs will be somewhere in the late 20s, maybe even getting up to 30. It'll be a similar story in Marlborough. It'll be pretty warm in Waiata Upper, Gisborne, Bay of Plenty, and the northern part of the country where the winds won't be so strong, but there's a very gentle subtropical breeze coming down there. And again, a couple of downpours might pop up, but they're mainly inland in the ranges. Most main centres on Christmas Day look dry, with the exception of the west coast. And then we go to Boxing Day, and it's a very different forecast. And I said it's good and bad news. Good news for the farmers, the gardeners, the growers. They'll be happy to see a burst of rain in what looks like, perhaps, the wettest day New Zealand's seen in about 2 months. So that's a little surprising, but we're overdue it, so maybe it's not. And usually December is a little bit unsettled anyway. The settled weather we've just had was unusual. So this is a little bit more normal, but it's not good news if you're heading away on your holiday and you're towing a caravan or you've got to put up a tent. It looks a bit wet and a bit windy on Boxing Day, and a bit cold as well down here in the south. Your daytime highs might even struggle to reach the teens. So we've got quite a bit to talk about as we get towards Christmas Day. Look out for our next update. It'll be on Thursday.